on. I'm Barb Ashcroft and want to welcome you to Expand Your Borders. I have a feeling you really are in the right place and exactly at the right time. And tonight, we're going to focus on learning why expanding your borders is so key now and the how-tos, the where and when, getting started, and then, of course, some really best tips to move ahead with that. So we're just going to, okay, just 1 second. We've already got, oh, here we go. Yay. Okay, so here's the topics we're going to cover tonight. Myself, and you'll see Renee Beth Poindexter with me. And we have a few spotlights if technology cooperates with us. And we're going to focus on the strategy and the wisdom of think global, but act local. Why this is such a good strategy. And we're also going to focus on income stability, creating resilience in economic downturns. Focus on lifestyle, tax advantages, and even being able to create a legacy with a willable asset. So love that aspect. The competitive advantage of future proofing with technology, and excited to show some modern day pioneer right now opportunities and key steps to get started. So we're going to present who we are to you so you know where we're coming from. I want to, first of all, recognize my compadre here, Renee Beth Poindexter. And Renee is the founder of Living the Potential Network. That's an intergenerational learning community, which is amazing. She's a published author, accomplished teacher, seminar leader, executive coach, facilitator, and consultant. And I love that she's got a broad breadth of experience in technology and financial services, healthcare, manufacturing, all the way through all of those, right down to nonprofit organizations. She's got 20 years experience within the relationship marketing industry with a focus on health and wellness. And this is very much a unique approach that has earned her and several of her team members entrance into the $1 Million Club. And her brand statement says it all. Bring who you are to what you do and get paid to be you. So thank you, Renee. Blessed to have you here.
Thank you, Barb. It's my pleasure to partner with you and be your compadre this evening, because Barb is so well accomplished and she's very humble. She's not going to tell you that she's been a key leader for over 40 years in the health and wellness industry. She's definitely a thought changer. And I love change makers. So Barb and I and our working together is just two peas in a pod. She's an author, a mentor, and an encourager to many. She has huge credibility and integrity because she loves assisting people with their health, wellness, and lifestyle goals. And really how it all fits together. She helps people find what they need and has always been a driving force in assisting people through, life speed bumps. Anybody been through any lately? And she knows how to help them uncover what's their real longevity secrets. Her book, When Your Bucket List Springs a Leak, is just a hint on how she shares. She talks about do-overs, undos, and life preservers when travel, health, business, and life, just don't go as expected. What are you going to do about it? She's in her joy when she's helping people find their top fulfillment needs and they can gauge their next steps. She's always looking for individuals to desire to grow, who wants to grow. There are no limits with Barb. She helps them move from their current mindset of normal to what's possible. She went from a shy corporate banker, can you see her over in the corner, to a top position in her relationship marketing company, earning all the top awards and entry into the $1 Million Earners Club as well. So I just want to say, Barb, you walk the talk and we keep growing and learning together. I'm so grateful for you.
Oh, thank you, Renee. Yes, well, we're excited to be here tonight because we really want to share some of the knowledge that we've learned. And one aspect of that is think global while acting local. So, Maxwell, a leading author, mentor, and just an amazing speaker, shares one is not a good number. You need a team. And right in your very own neighborhood, you may have a diverse global audience with contacts all around the world. For me, I live on an island, but I have access to almost 100 countries where I can develop my business in. And so it's really amazing to have that kind of experience and that kind of mindset. Now, post pandemic, my goodness, if people in all cultures aren't familiar with Zoom, we don't know what planet they're living on because my goodness, the technology and the apps that we have available to us are incredible to be able to help us with doing business online and just doing business, period. So starting local, that's really a really good use of your money and also of your time. Time disappears and you don't get it back. So making the best use of time is key. And then as key team members join you, using a system, a roadmap is just key. So a primary asset, of course, is a foundational system. So aided with the use of technology, you can have all the tools and resources to go global.
Which is pretty phenomenal. You know, when you think about it, can go global, but think local and have the whole world at your fingertips. It's pretty amazing. And I love sharing the story of Tina. Tina is an equine therapist, and she lives in the beautiful Northwest in Canada. And, you know, she is, you know, so many people are concerned right now about income stability due to economic storms, but how did the economic storms start? Well, Tina has really gone through it, not only the forms of winter conditions, but regional fires and floods. And, you know, of course, I'm not so much sure about political unrest where she lives, but, you know, it's around us globally. So I'm just saying that we have to diversify our revenue streams, and Tina figured out a way on how to do that. You see, she had built her equine business by referral in her little area where she lives. She's very, very gifted as a equine therapist. She can take a horse who's in huge distress and bring it to a calm state of being in order for her to do her amazing therapy with the horse. It gets people's attention. But the problem was, when the weather wasn't working, the roads were impassable, or when the fires were taking over, it was just impossible. She put her life in danger. She couldn't do it. She had to take a second job in order to just make ends meet because she couldn't do her primary love as an equine therapist until she found a technology that both supported her work and her clients' animals, that soon grew to places like Ireland and Australia, providing a second income stream by her using her intelligence and knowledge about equine therapy with technology tools that could help equine therapists and their clients' horses around the world. And oh, by the way, you're going to wonder, how did she do that when she's never been to either country in person? Well, stay tuned, because as we go through this tonight, you'll hear a couple of clues on how she made that happen. Isn't that right, Barb? It's about resilience and future-proof with technology. Tina is a great example.
She certainly is. And we've got a few more too.
Absolutely. I'd love to just share about my great friend, Ta. This is a beautiful picture of her. She's standing there with her amazing son, and they're right there in Cabo. See, Ta lives in California, and the fact that she could travel now and spend at least 2 months in Mexico with her son where she could adapt and just, she has her own condo and fits in her mobile work between precious family time. And she's working, so she's working there. And at the same time, she's taking advantage of tax advantages and write-offs for travel. So Barb, you've met Ta. I've known Ta for over 20 years. She's a new friend for you. What do you notice? And maybe she's here. She could speak to us.
Yeah, let's see if we can, if Ta's available to come on camera and just share. I'd love Ta to just experience what is the feeling, the feel good of being able to do that. There's got to have lots of good vibes that just come with it. Are you able to join us on camera?
Well, thank you, Barb. Thank you, Renee Beth. It's an extraordinary blessing to be able to go where you want, stay as long as you want, do what you want when you're there. And as long as you have your phone, I have my computer with me, I could work. And I could also meet people that were very interested in what we're all doing. Lots of people are looking to expand their borders. They travel to Cabo from all over the world. They love it. It's a destination spot. So it's a fun place to meet people. And in and around that, my son would pop in. He'd pop in for a hug, or he'd pop in and bring lunch, or we'd pop out for lunch, and then come back and, do a few more Zooms and enjoy the time there. It's gorgeous sunshine, beautiful skies, magnificent ocean. And we took some day trips. All of this is something that I have wanted to be able to do for decades and decades and decades and decades. And I did it, and it was fun. I learned a lot. I already booked my trip to go back in 2025 for 2, maybe 3 months this time.
Sounds enticing. Oh, thank you, Ta. That's great because I mean, people love to travel, and what an opportunity to be able to have those tax advantages, but also families are living all over the world. So to be able to have that connection is just so precious. So thank you for popping on here with us.
You're welcome.
So we want to also look into, having a road. I think it's even more crucial when you're building beyond your borders that you need a simple, duplicatable system that not only you, but that your team can follow and get direction from. So technology, again, we just keep on going back to technology. I don't think business would be where it's at without it. So building, and training locally is just such a key to get a firm foundation and just build that community around you.
So Barb, that's a really good point. Technology is the best asset. And with artificial intelligence, AI, everybody's going, oh, well, what if you could align with a company that knows how to harvest artificial intelligence along with Zoom and other tools and resources in ways that will facilitate a better world? So that best asset technology is alive and well in some, clues we're going to give a few people tonight, which is amazing. So you can actually build your organization globally, and you can train locally, but the local connections can help create that ripple effect globally. It's beyond, as a matter of fact, training has taken on a whole different energy. It's more like facilitating using systems and tools that are easily duplicable, just like you said. And for companies that have a global pool, wow. I know that was something really important to you because you've had your hands around a global pool for many, 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 many years. So what is a global pool and why does it matter for expanding your borders?
Well, thank you. And one memory that I just feel I got to share, because when you're talking about training is so different now. Some years back, I was in Japan and I was training the sales force there. And I was having, of course, I speak English. I don't speak Japanese. I had a wonderful interpreter with me, but everything I needed had to be in a drag bag to get on the bullet train and do this and do that and all of that. So it is different now, but it's so much simpler and so less wearying. But let's get to that global pool. When you're vetting a company as far as potential, who you want to align with, like you shared, you know, really good companies, they have what's called a global pool, and it's a real target to shoot for, especially as a perk for high achievers. So what it does, it provides another income stream by earning shares. So the company takes all of the international sales volume, and then what they do is they offer shares in that to the top earners to be part of your paycheck. And for me, I was very fortunate. Many times my global pool was over 50% of my paycheck. That would be
Wow.
coming from Malaysia and Indonesia and Taiwan and all the other places that the company was in. But the really feel good part of that, especially if you're into community and connection, is that because you can earn a share in all growth, competition is negated. So what that means, you're thrilled when someone is having success wherever they are in the world because that success is shared. So really, really, like I say, it's a wonderful feel good experience. And certainly it's always nice to have those extra perks going into your bank account.
Well, that's a big point. I mean, a lot of things that impact people in, let's say typical normal corporate business is that a few people get all the perks.
Mhm.
And it seems that, there's more, it's builds in competition, right? Where people
Mhm.
compete against each other to get those perks. But when you're with an organization that says, let's work together towards a shared objective and let's collaborate to make that so, and then reward people financially for that type of behavior, wow, that's the part that takes companies into momentum because leadership has figured it out. Let's get people to work together and reward them for doing that.
Mhm.
So that's part of what we're talking about here is there's a little secret that you're going to hear in a minute that'll help you understand more about what this really is.
So we're going to talk about catching the wave of growth. And so these are questions that are asked. What industry has the best potential? And this is a chart taken from the DSA, the Direct Selling Association. Their growth factors, what they're highlighting. And they're sharing that wellness, cosmetics, and beauty and household goods are the top three. That's what is at the top of the marketplace. So when you're asking or vetting a company, you want to know, does it have expansive growth? Does it have little or no competition? And what's current? We know science doesn't stand still. So what's current now? What's helping? What's working? And what is positioned to take who and what is for positioning to take advantage of it. So these numbers, Renee and I were laughing earlier as we were looking at these numbers, and I really can't even spit them out. They're just so big. But this is real life, right from the DSA reports as far as market size. So if you're a number cruncher, and I love number crunching, but I can't for the life of me figure out it's millions anyways, and then expected to expand with even more millions by 2027. So.
It's amazing. Well, there's something about this slide. We're bringing in a new name of a company called LifeWave. And this is a company that we're really proud to introduce if it's the first time for you all to take a look at this, because it's winning all kinds of awards and for its cutting edge technology, growing global, and What is it that makes LifeWave, it surges ahead of the competition? Could you reiterate exactly what that is, Barb? What makes
It's,
it so different?
well, it's innovation. You don't have a 20-year company stay where it's at and have a 40% year after year growth without innovation. And innovation is key, where in this marketplace, in these last 3 to 4 years, there's been absolutely a slippery slide of so many businesses that have been impacted by supply chain issues, by the marketplace, by, you know, people even not wanting to go back into a cubicle.
Exactly.
They've been so affected. Meanwhile, here is this company going into its 20th year, and November, which is the last record of amount that we've seen, was the highest month to date, and 40% year over year. So exciting.
Exactly. So it's 20 years solid, moving into the next stage of growth, and wait till you see what's coming. So it's kind of like an inside tip. If you don't know about it, pinch yourself. Again, expand your borders. You're in the right place, the right time. When you have a vehicle, like a company like LifeWave, it's going to help a lot of people have the lifestyle and health and well-being that they deserve and want to share with others. So, by the way, this is a business model for the 21st century. And some of you may going, oh, is this one of those blah, blah, blah companies? Well, this is a hybrid type company. I would tell you it's got the best of the corporate world, the best of relationship marketing, the best of coaching, mentoring, a nice blend of service-oriented companies. And furthermore, it's not your grandmother's MLM. The network marketing industry makes up about 97% of the direct sales arena and of the market size. So it's 97%. And really the distinction I believe we're participating in is relationship marketing. It's about the relations. It's how we serve people. It's not so transactional. In so many ways, you'll understand our culture and what I mean by that. As a matter of fact, Stephen Covey, author of 7 Habits of Highly Successful People and First Things First, said network marketing has come of age. It's undeniable that it has become a way to entrepreneurship and independence for millions of people. And this is 2024. This has been coming and coming and coming, and it's, I think, reaching more than a crescendo now. And why? It's because of these trends that are embedded in this business model. So just take a look at what's happened, Barb. Remember, how long ago was it when people said, I don't think people are going to be buying stuff online? People thought Amazon as a company wouldn't exist, about online purchasing and drop shipped in people's homes. They didn't know, they weren't thinking about the gig economy. People are looking for freedom and ease and self-employment. But the distinction of how to earn as a self-employed person, getting pretty competitive out there. People want to, let's say, have a higher quality of life, and they'll even take less money to do it. And companies want to help people purchase and build a brand that keeps people coming back. Direct shipping, direct shopping, all of it. So when you look at these, let's say how we interact with social media, one person can say, try this, and thousands of people, based on your credibility with people, go, I want that too. So, and then this whole idea of connecting on the mobile phone, it's like, wow, who would ever think that everything exists right on that phone? So ease and grace with business and technology and tools with a vehicle that'll help you go global is such a powerful way to design your future. What would you say about that, Barb?
Well, I just think it's such a no-brainer, being that I was a corporate banker doing the normal job. I just I guess I'm ruined for doing anything like that anymore, because there's such freedom and such mental paychecks that you get when you're helping individuals and you're being a team leader to help others grow. And
Right.
my 43 years of business, I want to pass along. I want to share with the next generation. I want
Right.
them to not have to do the 43 years to get there. But also, seeing that I've seen the highs and lows of economics with what I've lived through, it's just such a no-brainer. And like you said, it's not grandma's old marketing plan. This
Oh,
is
no.
hybrid stuff. So
Right.
and with that, we've got some really uh, wonderful blessings that come our way because of who we have that is leading our team. So
Absolutely. Well, I'm proud to say that I've been a friend of Renata Lundberg for close to 20 years. And she is so impressive and also a very humble person. What I love about Renata is that she is so driven. I mean, you think about this woman, she had a very successful business in Germany, marketing business in Germany for over 11 years. But she went through a lifestyle change and found herself to be a single mom, wanted to move to the United States. And she decided to go to school and become a psychologist. And she had to do it by taking all of her textbooks and converting it to German so she could really study the essence of the topics and stuff, and then convert it back to English. So she learned English by converting her college textbooks. And anyway, she's just an amazing being. And what's beautiful about her work as a teacher and as a counselor, she was always helping people to help them have a better life. But she found a better way beyond students in a classroom. And I think when I introduced Renata to you, Barb, you saw some things in her that you were looking for in terms of who else might you want to partner with in terms of this next stage in your life. So what did you see in Renata's story and I think she's here. We can actually have her speak with
yeah.
us for a few moments.
Well, I was so blessed, and I thank you for introducing me to Renata because as a high performance person, I needed to know that there were key things in place in business and there were key people. And what really stood out to me with Renata was that with all of the success that you see on this slide, you know, she joined LifeWave, which is a pioneer in light technology, in 2020, but made the top rank in 14 months. You always want to vet a company to see, well, how many can really make it to the top? Who is that? Is that 5, 10, 12 people? And she was able to show exactly to me that in 14 months, she made it to the top. But more importantly, even that she was serving on the advisory council for US, Canada, and Mexico, which means direct contact with the CEO, with the founder, and with corporate. And let me share a comparison. If you were going to let's say a wellness product, you go to the health food store and you hold up this bottle, and who comes to serve you? Well, the person that comes to serve you is normally a minimum wage clerk. So there's no way that minimum wage clerk has the connection to be able to answer the question you can put your trust and your faith in that, wow, they know what they're talking about. They have access to be able to get my questions asked and answered. And they're the first to tell us what's new. So excited already just an hour before the webinar tonight. I got a whole pile of texts from Renata sharing even more exciting things that are coming our way and filling me in. So just before I ask Renata to share a few words, I want to tell you that when we send out the recorded video of this webinar, I'm going to include an amazing 20-minute video interview I did with Renata. with a lot of things that aren't on this slide, just to show you the value of being able to have someone that's, she walks her talk for sure. So Renata, are you able? I tried to access you there so you could speak.
I'm here, Barb. Thank you so
Oh.
much for having me. I really appreciate it. I'm not quite sure how to turn on my video camera. Is that something that you possibly
No,
can?
this is good. We got a lovely picture of you on the
All right.
screen here. So that's good.
So, Barb, it's a great honor and pleasure to get to work with you and Renee Beth and Rita Kwan and so many of our leaders. Many of us have been working together going on 20 years. So, as you were saying, we know when we are looking for a company, what the highlights are, what we're looking for in order not only for us to be successful, but to help our team members to become successful. And of course, that we have here the opportunity to work in a global market is, something that for many of us who had a brick and mortar business and were bound to a certain location in terms of clientele in business. And now here we are having global reach. It's just incredible. And that the company, after 20 years, still continues to introduce us to new markets that will make a tremendous impact in terms of so many people's quality of life and all of our financial health and wealth. The opportunity is endless. We're definitely in the right place at the right time. And, the most important part for me, we're having fun doing this together and helping each other become successful. And that's what it's all about for me. So getting up in the morning, knowing that we get to work with wonderful people like you and everybody else on the team, and that we get to touch thousands and thousands of people's lives around the globe, help them have a better life. I just don't know what's better than that.
Well, and I just appreciate that, to be successful, you really need to have key people that are on your team that can basically lead and create that whole system, that roadmap, so that people aren't, having being pulled off track, I guess, would be more like what I'd like to share on that, because it's definitely key to be able to have the success.
Right.
And of course, having the model of you being able to reach that top rank in 14 months. And we know that there's sort of some global pool shares that comes with some of that too, right? So
Right.
some wonderful encouragement. So we just thank you. I'm looking forward to people getting the video interview and being able to get to know you more and more, and knowing that you're another support person for all these ones that are looking at expanding their borders, as we are in momentum. So thank
Right.
you, Renata.
Right. And one further note, I'd like to just say for new people that there's no glass ceiling here. Sometimes there's a glass ceiling when you're new coming into a company that's been around for 20 years, but we're not approved that, it doesn't matter when you join a global expanding company that's got systems that say, we're looking for leaders to help manage the growth. Come on in. Renata did, and in 14 months, reached the highest promotion the company offers. And not only that, she was witnessed and recognized to actually be on the advisory council for the US, Canada, and Mexico, meeting weekly with top-level leadership of the company. So high-level influencer, Renata, so humble that you are. I love that, that psychology you learned in college, you're putting to much better use as we grow global and expand our borders. Thank you so much for your leadership.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Renata. So we've got some questions before we share some real exciting news. Who's ready? Who's ready to be a modern day pioneer? Who's interested in learning about this privately held cutting edge technology company that's targeted with no competition, and predicted already to be a huge success? Renee, help me out here with this. This is pretty exciting stuff.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, the cool thing about this company, we think about a modern day pioneer, let's say, okay, we're in a category of shifting the way we look at time, shifting the way we look at energy. And what that means is when you are really innovatively with a cutting edge technology company, and you can actually, what should I say, shift the way we look at aging, for example. Do you know anyone that might be interested in that? What kind of cutting edge technology is going to support people in regenerating their health and well-being? Well, this is a regenerative technology company that's headed by visionary David Schmidt, who's been an inventor, scientist, explorer from a very young age, supported by his family, filled with inventors and scientists. So it's basically amazing in terms of his vision. And as a result, we've got, we were recently at an international conference in this recently at the last conference with the company. And this idea of expanding into South Korea with new headquarters opening in January, opening this month, which is quite amazing. It takes quite a bit, right? Barb, to open in South Korea, you know that firsthand. And that we're looking for key people to actually help manage the growth, looking for leaders that might say, heck, I want to be the first. I want to stake my claim. I want to have my first boots on the ground, be a part of this. Because as we move into the Asian marketplace, it changes the game for everyone. That global expansion, expanding your borders, and you can do it locally. So how does that all work, Barb?
Well, it's just really so cool. But let me just share why this is so extraordinary. Is South Korea has very strict licensing requirements. In fact, I've been in other companies that tried to open South Korea and couldn't. There's only 115 direct selling companies licensed in South Korea, and we're one of them. And David Schmidt, our visionary, with his leadership team, their goal, as they're opening South Korea this month, is to be in the top 20 in our first year there of the 150. I mean, that's pretty big goals, but here's why. South Korea is the #2 country in the world, with the second largest direct selling market at over 20 billion, and that goes back to 2022. And Mr. Steve Kim, who is the appointed country manager, is going to be leading this expansion. So it's funny, when I created this slide, it's already almost outdated because it does say fully licensed as of August, and it doesn't happen overnight. So they've been working a long time on this. It says office being built. Well, here's a picture of the office. Gorgeous. They've already had tours there, and it consists of a business center, event hall, and staff offices. And of course, the key corporate management are in place. So here is an opportunity with LifeWave to be able to be part of that expansion. And maybe South Korea maybe you've got family somewhere else in Thailand or the Philippines or Japan. Well, LifeWave's already in over 80 countries and has offices in the US, Europe, Malaysia, Philippines, Thailand, Japan. And these 3 new offices in Taipei in Taiwan, in Guadalajara in Mexico, and in Gangnam, South Korea. So some really awesome things happening. And I don't know, my grandparents were pioneers. I love the pioneer spirit. I thought, well, how do we get to be pioneers? And actually, there's an opportunity to be pioneers. It's
Right.
pretty,
Well,
pretty
what's
cool.
really interesting about this, Barb, is that I would love to be a part of the South Korea expansion. And this idea of expanding my borders from the comfort of my living room, how am I going to do that?
Mhm.
Well, there's a lot of people that are from that country that live in the United States that have family in South Korea, that have family in Taiwan. And it's how we connect and serve our local that expands the global. And how do we do that? Well, it's with amazing systems that helps this company, which I've never seen a company grow globally as quickly. I mean, 20 years, the company is 20 years stable with no competition, doing something very, very unique product with no competition, but the way in which they go about that, the way they go about this, allowing the local expand your borders, that's got to be a question in people's mind. How does that system work? I'm so glad you asked. We have more to share. So one of the key things is that what is our culture like? As we expand globally, well, the most important thing is we want people to be well. That's what our whole technology is about, wearable technology that can help you regenerate yourself from the inside out very powerfully. And what difference does that make? Well, it impacts your mental health, your physical health, your emotional health, your spiritual health, and your financial health. And how do we do that? Well, there's a secret in terms of taking charge of your self-care and being able to do it in such a way that you can be paid to be healthy. So to do well, you must be well. And it kind of works hand in hand, right? It's like you don't have to sacrifice your health and well-being to be successful here, because we have a cutting edge regenerative technology that's going to slow down your aging process. And what will you do with more energy? What will you do with more stamina and capacity? Think about where you are right now in terms of on the time scale of your age. What did they say, 60 is the new 40? What if 80 is the new 60 or even younger? It's like, what will you do with that energy? What will you do with that extra time? We're learning, and this is where the spiritual, emotional comes in too, because people start to transform. And when the money flows by doing good, it changes everything. Wouldn't you agree, Barb?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So key. So as we start getting down to some of the wrapping up here, we've got some questions like, how is your pioneer spirit? How, just sort of reviewing some of the things that we've talked about. How about tax deductible travel? Oof, yes, I've still got countries on my wish list. And to create willable assets. How about income stability? Is that as important to you as well as growing your legacy to leave to your loved one? Learning new how-tos. I love to learn, and I love to be around people that never stop learning, exploring new areas, new arenas. And maybe you're the type of person that you like to dip your toe in the water or maybe just dive in.
Right. Well, wait, about this pioneer spirit, Barb.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the pioneers didn't have it all figured out in advance.
No, that's right. They
They
sure
sort of
didn't.
had a plan about where they were going and why they were going there. And then they had a committed, let's say a committed team of people to support them in uncovering, what was there to be found, discovered, and shared. And that's what we're in a new frontier. Everybody's going, oh, AI technology. Oh, what are we going to do? It's like, well, wait a second. What if you could partner with a company that would allow you to expand your borders, tap into that technology, change your life, not only for you, but for the generations that are following you? It's kind of amazing. You're creating a new, what do you call it? Ancestral genealogy by the choices that we make. I think they call that epigenetics. Isn't that right?
Mm-hmm.
So getting started with the best tips here is pretty phenomenal in terms of, secure your position in this privately held, soon to be billion-dollar company. We're celebrating our 20th anniversary, 20th year is this year, 2024. The company started in 2004. So what does it mean to secure your position? Well, it means that you might want to just enroll yourself into being a part of this expansion, because we are looking for leaders to help manage the growth. There's a very generous compensation plan, and we can work around, it's kind of people go, well, I don't have time. I go, well, if you had a way that you could stretch time and have this work for you in a few hours a week, what a difference that could make. And you are in charge of your schedule here. And it just so happens, Barb, the way the compensation plan works is the more people we help, the more money you make, which is really cool. It's not like trampling over people to get ahead. It's helping people rise up and do it together. It's a proprietary technology. What this company offers, no one else has, so there's no competition. So you want to stake your claim. I think of it like Phil Knight when he started Nike here in Portland. At the beginning, he had the trunk of his car, and he had, tennis shoes there and a waffle iron. And he was trying to show what these new shoes were going to be like and trying to get people to participate in his company. And I think he was asking for like a $2,000 investment. The people who said yes, they weren't waiting for everything to be perfect. I'm sure they're very happy with where Nike is today. So it's kind of like an inside tip where this company is going, and to know that you can stake a claim and we can show you how to do it. So what does it mean? It's simple to enroll. What is an early adopter? Tell us more about that, Barb.
Well, I think when you're an early adopter, when you take action, it's interesting. As you know, I have a passion project called Compassion in Action. And how that name came about was that we can have sympathy for someone, we can have empathy, but when we have compassion, compassion is always followed by action. So when you take action, it's like everything starts to come together towards what you're looking to do. And so that's really key. But also, because this is a team sport, as an early adopter, what happens is the people that come in following you, you all grow together. And so that's amazing. And why this is important right now is 2 weeks tomorrow, January 27th, is a virtual conference for $29 US called Visions. And what this does, why we really wanted to get the word out to you, was that this ensures that you get to learn firsthand and be aware of the 2024 corporate goals and projections with what's happening with LifeWave from our founder, from our CEO, David Schmidt. And you are not the same after you're in front of that gentleman. Just
Absolutely.
so impactful. Mm-hmm.
You get the inside scoop on the innovation and where the company is going. It sort of fulfills the idea of what part you want to play. You'll be guided. You'll see. It's kind of like an inspiration. You get a spark. So I wouldn't miss that conference. And the whole thing is, in order to be a part of the conference, you might want to get back with the person who brought you here tonight, or Barb can support you 100% in getting connected. And getting yourself enrolled to get your stakeholder claim. Now, again, the company's been around for 20 years, but this new expansion into South Korea, it's so big. You want to come on board. I can't wait for Visions Conference so I can learn the rest of what I don't know. I sort of feel like there's this immediacy, and it's just 2 weeks away. So I really would encourage, Barb, let's help people enroll so they can attend that conference. I think it's filling up pretty fast. So that's the other thing.
And they're already saying that it could sell out, even though it's virtual. Zoom can only handle so many, and this is an international vision. So you definitely want to have that. But also, get in where you fit in. What's right for you is right for us. We just want to walk alongside and support. So someone thought enough of you to invite you to this presentation. So connect back with that individual and find the info you need to move forward and take advantage today, because, you know, it's time's a ticking and this is momentum. And if, wow, we're just absolutely blown away with what we've already seen. Also, some asterisks here. This is the foundational masterclass, but we'll be having other masterclasses to follow that are going to continue the learning curve, continue to share the success that we're learning. I've already got this wonderful Korean compensation plan sent to me that I've been, you know, I jumped out of bed to try and dissect some more because I'm a number cruncher.
You are, Barb. You are.
I like to know what's going on, and
That's
I
that
like to
baker in
share.
you. That baker is still there.
I guess.
Well,
So
I just want to acknowledge you, Barb, because there's a lot of information that can come at people, but the context of why expand your borders is, you know, here we are in a brand new year, expand your borders, and you can do it from the comfort of your own living room. It's really a powerful place. And if you want to travel, you know, it's all there. It's all laid out perfectly for us to really make a bigger difference together. And I love doing that with you, Barb. Thank you so much for your leadership.
well, thank you, Renee. And it's just, I hope the folks got to feel our heart. This is truly, you know, something that we love to do. And we are just really wanting to share. And this will be a tool. This particular masterclass will become a YouTube video pretty soon. And it will be a tool that other folks that get enrolled can take advantage of, because that's what we're doing, is creating help for our team members and for our LifeWave team. So thank you, Renee. Thank you, folks, for coming. We're just really going to take what we've